Hey everybody, it's ASIC Eric on a beautiful spring day. It's a little overcast, but pretty nice. Upper 60s today. Still not quite warm enough to really do any painting. Kind of running out of things to do here. So I'm going to run one more paint experiment. As Wendell pointed out in the last video I did, he mentioned bumping up the pressure on the gun, and that's something I hadn't really thought of before, so that was a good idea. So I thought I might run that experiment today. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did before with the trunk panel, and instead of doing accelerator in it, I'm gonna do different pressure tests. And I think I'm also gonna try running a couple different tip sizes. My Techno Pro Lite, I think I got the 1.2 tip for it as well. I've been using the 1.3. So we'll see. I don't know if I want to do that or not, because we're switching the tip out like all the time in order to do that test, but we might. But first order of business, I want to do some line maintenance over here. This is my setup for those who haven't seen it before. So I got a cooler / water separator thing over here, a little water filter here. Then I have this QC3. This guy's done, like really done. And I thought about that last time. I've been getting so much trash in my paint, and I'm wondering if it's coming from here, from the lines, whatever I have in my old yellow line that I've been using. I cracked this guy open, and it's just a mess inside. So I'll take that off and show you what that looks like. And it was like that last time. I was able to take it apart and change the desiccant filter, but this time the nut just broke off because it's like rusted inside and stuff. So let me get that off and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so this guy you can see had a little wing nut at the bottom there, but it snapped off. If you look down inside this guy, what a mess. I cleaned this out once before, like I said, put a new desiccant filter in it. It was like this before when I cleaned it. So I don't know if, I think air comes in here, gets swirled around by these things, helps separate the water, then it comes back up through here. But I don't know if any crap can get back in this way, and then of course that's it. That's straight out to my line right there. So let me get this guy off and see what it looks like on the inside. All right, well, I think that helps answer that question. Yeah. All that crap. So yeah, I think this stuff was coming back up through my lines. So this thing is like way past its best by date. So I got a new one. I just replaced the whole thing rather than try and salvage this thing. And I also got one of these guys, a toilet paper filter. I wanted to put this on the outside of this, but for whatever reason they put a different size fitting on the outside than they did on the inside of this thing, and it's a weird size that I couldn't find a fitting really to go between the two. So I'm going to insert it right here in between the two, and then we'll see if that works any better. Hopefully cleaner lines, less trash. Especially when I did that last hood spray, it was sitting up vertically and I was just spraying right here and it was just covered in trash. I'm like, where the heck is all that trash coming from? So I think it's coming from here. So anyway, I got all new stuff. So I got a new line, new fittings, new filters, new everything. And hopefully that will take care of the problem. So let me get this thing set up here. All right, there's the new and improved setup. One thing I noticed, the kit came with this shutoff valve, which I don't remember if the other one came with, because I didn't use it if I did, but I always wanted one there, right? So I can cut this off. So this is my main line for power tools and stuff, and I've been using the other one without a cutoff there, rationalizing that the air wasn't flowing through this side, so it wasn't making a big difference. But there is contamination running through there, so now I can shut this thing off when I'm not using it, and then I know there's no air going that way, which is nice. So one problem with this is this motor guard's deeper than these guys. So I had these flush against the mount, the board I had on the wall over there before. I'm not going to be able to do that now, so I'm going to have to come up with some spacers or something to get this offset. I had these guys laying around in my cabinet over there. Looks like they'll do the trick. All right, there we go. Not my best work, but I think it'll do the trick. The arrow's pointing the right way, and out. All right, so for those who didn't understand this thing, I put this union right here because I have basically hard line and hard line, and how do you attach them, right? So it's just mounted to my water separator there, and then I can put this union right here and then separate the two where I can move it around and stuff as necessary. And the loop is going this way, so no water gets trapped. If it was turned the other way, water could get stuck down at the bottom. This is the theory. All right, let's turn it on and see if it holds air. All right, well, there's no major air leaks. I don't hear anything over here. Everything seems quiet, so I think we're good. All right, here's the aforementioned panel. It looks pretty nice here, but you can see all this trash up in here. So I'm gonna hit this here with some 600, sand it down, we'll get it ready and hang it up and do it again. Well, I don't think 600 is gonna cut it. Static. This will give you hopefully a good idea of the kind of texture stuff I was talking about though. From when I sprayed it last time, remember at the top, this was a medium wet coat and the bottom was a wet coat. And you can see here, hopefully, how the clear coat just dripped down right on these tape lines here. And that makes sense, right? Because when I was painting, I was going like this. And so I was hitting this edge harder than the rest, right? Because I'm doing a start and stop right on that edge. And that's why people tell you not to do that. So you can see it pretty clearly here. But the texture as well, I think you can see here, this has this strange kind of linear texture running through here, where this is more random up here. And that's the kind of stuff I was talking about where the paint's sagging. I kind of sanded it out a little too much right here, but I think you can see it. That's kind of the point. Of course, you can see all the runs and stuff. So I'm going to switch to some 220 just to knock this down real quick here and then go back to the 600. All right, this guy's ready to go. That's all sanded down with 600. I tried to take as much of the other texture out as possible. There's still a few little divots and things here and there, but for the most part it's pretty flat. Got a new hose. New anodized purple fittings. Got the Techna Pro Light ready to go. GTI Pro Light, same thing. I've got my new decups thing ready for it. So yeah, we're ready to go here. I'm gonna put the 1.2 tip in first. We'll start with that. All right, we got everything marked up. 26, 36, 46. 26 is what's recommended for the Techna Pro Light with the HVLP 30. 30? I think that's right, cap. I don't have that one. I have the 20. I'll go check, come back to that. So that might be a little bit low for that cap. I don't know. Then we got 1.2, 1.3 tip. I also put this chart up on the wall here. Same thing, 26, 36, 46, 1.2, 1.3. And then I'm going to try 3.5 turns out, 2.5, 1.5 for each setting. Hold the trigger for 1 second. Try and be consistent about it, and we'll see what happens with runs and splatters and everything else. A lot of stuff going on here. I apologize for this noisy whine that my fan is making these days. I don't know what that's all about. It only does it when the doors close. I keep checking if there's a leak there or something, but I can't find it. So I'll just turn the audio down when I'm spray painting so you don't have to listen to that. All right, so to start with, so we have the HV25. It's got the 1.2 tip in it. We're wound out 3.5 turns from all the way in. And we'll start at 26, go across. We'll do this test first, and then we'll go do the panel. Something like that. Maybe about that far away. Yeah, I could tell that was chunky. One half turn in, or one full turn in. And one more full turn in.
stuff enough clear for this experiment. I made like, I don't know, 4 ounces or something. That's probably nowhere near enough. And there, we're turning my pressure on the wall. I don't think I'm going to be able to get up to 46, but we got 36 here. That looks better already. Yeah, that looks a lot better than the 26. All right, we'll see how high we can get this. That's all I can get out of it. Yeah, look at that fan. Jeez. I think I went the wrong way on that one. Yeah, I did. Oh. Okay, let's shoot some paint on the panel, huh? 41 is all we're getting here. Be consistent. Whoa, okay. Definitely see how thick it is. 41. Definitely generates a lot of overspray. Hopefully you can see it. Alright, there's the graph. I see the 1.3 ran across the board. Interesting, I may have had the nozzle or the fluid setting wrong here. I don't know why that one ran so much. But the 1.3 was just nuts across the board. The 1.2 was good up here. No runs. But when you spray it on, you can see this thick white blob in the center, so you knew it was way too thick. Alright, let's come back and look here. This looks pretty nice. I see a run right there. You can see that. So 26 PSI ran right away. Run there. I've seen the runs here. Look back to higher pressure work. A little run right there. Yeah, still getting a few runs in there. Not too bad. Texture looks awesome though. Well, you can see that. There's still a bunch of dirt in it, so I don't know where all these dirt's coming from. It looks better than the last panel I sprayed. Still pretty dirty. Alright, I'll let that flash off for a little bit and come back and hit it until I run out of clear.
I don't know how scientific this experiment is yet, but you can already see this giant sag running through here. So that's kind of typical for when I spray, and 1.3, 26, that's generally how I spray. So that seems to be the wrong formula. This one's still got a few issues in it here. See that finger? This one looks pretty good here. So there's just one little run right there. The rest looks pretty good. I didn't put that first coat on very light either. Usually on the clear I try to be a little gentler on that first coat. Second coat I can put on a little heavier and beyond. But anyway, one thing I did notice when I changed up my setup here, I forgot to put my little can filter on the gun. Maybe that made a difference. I don't know. Alright, so I got a few minutes left and we'll get ready. So we'll start with the 1.3 and then switch the tip back to the 1.2. We'll probably call it a day after that with just 2 coats.
Alright, one other thing I want to check, like I did on the last video, is the touch test. So it's been 15 minutes cooking here. I'll see if it's dry at all. That one over there I'm sure is going to be soaking wet. So let's see. Well, it's pretty wet. Wet. And I'm not sure there's any difference between the three. Maybe that one's a little less sticky. Anyway, let's get it going. And I still have the 1.3 temp in case anyone was wondering. Next up a little more clear. Try it again. that'll do it.
All right, so did we learn anything? The 26 PSI part is full of runs, big, nasty, brutal ones. So that was not good. The 36 is pretty clean for the most part. There's a little bit of stuff going on down here at the bottom. The 41, not 46, but 41. I got one little drip going on right there, very minor. And same thing here. So just around the holes, basically. There's a little bit of a run going on right there. Again, on these tape lines here, that's not a surprise because that's where I'm starting and stopping. The 36 kind of looked like it had something going on right there, but I'm not sure. No, I think that's good. So, Wendell, I think you were right. Pressure makes a big difference here. This is clearly too low. It's not atomizing well. You can see the texture here versus the texture here versus the texture. You're going to look at the hose there. You can see this 26 is really cool. You can see from the list here. The 26 PSI here, even in the 1.2, not good, but these two came out okay. I think the 41 might be a bit much. I don't know. That fan was pretty enormous and really narrow. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to look. This guy was mostly okay here, except for that. So definitely increasing the pressure made a big difference. So I'm definitely going to be doing that going forward. It's still cold today, right? It's only warmed up to 65 in the garage. So it's still too cold to really be painting. So maybe at 75 or above, I wouldn't even have these issues here. This is the cold reducer and everything, but still. Yeah, so that makes me feel good. So somewhere between these two, I think worked out pretty well. The texture, again, looks really nice. This is really glassy there, you can see, hopefully. And so it laid out real flat, and this didn't. So yeah, that's good. I like it. All right, so that's going to do it. I think putting that filter on helped. I didn't see a lot of new trash in that second coat. It looks pretty clean. So I think I'm in pretty good shape here as far as junk is concerned. There's no big chunky things that came out after that second pass there. I think a lot of this stuff, I don't know if you can see this, that might be an artifact of the low pressure. There's a little bit of it there, not so much here. So I don't know, maybe when I'm spraying low pressure, it's trapping bubbles or something in there, and it's, solvent popping or something, who knows. That happens right away, so it's not like it has to sit for a while with that happen, but could be something like that, because I don't see as much of it over here on the higher pressure ones. Hopefully you can see in the reflection there how glassy that is. That looks really nice. All right, cool. Once again, thank you, Wendell. I think you saved my butt. I'm digging it, so we'll do that going forward. Hope you all are well, and we will catch you on the next one. I decided to come back out and take a look at this before wrapping everything up. It's been a little over an hour. See if anything's changed. Some gnarly runs right there. Yeah. The rest of this looks about the same. A little more runs up here maybe. But the main thing I wanted to do here is come out and do that touch test again. See if anything changed. So here we go. I'm trying to get this in frame here. So, yuck. Oh, pretty sticky. Pretty sticky. Yeah, I don't know if any of those are any different. So after an hour, that thing is still very, very wet. So still not atomizing enough, or still too cold in here, one of the two. Probably too cold in here. So anyway, that's it.